All of creation is designed not only for a practical purpose, but as a metaphor for a truth that is more fundamental than physical creation alone. Perhaps the most blatant and profound instance of this is the relationship between the sun, the moon, and the earth. To me, the moon represents Christ, the Son of God. Between the earth and the sun, the moon finds its path. As it is written, there is only one mediator between God and man. Whenever we see the light of the moon, we are actually seeing the light of the sun reflecting from its surface. Just as Jesus said, "Whoever has seen me has seen the Father." The surface of the moon is pure white like a spotless lamb, save for the great scars that mar its surface from the impacts of meteors, as if giant nails had pierced it. And just as Christ brought sight to the blind, the moon illuminates the darkness of night, revealing what would otherwise be hidden. The sun represents God, the Almighty Father. Firstly, it warms the earth, brings life to all things upon it, and sustains it, just like our Creator in heaven. But as it is written, no one can see God and live. Likewise, no one can look upon the sun without incurring the death of their eyes. So the question remains, how do we find communion with a God who blazes like the sun with unapproachable majesty? The answer is the gospel, and this story is told through the most magnificent symbol that occurs in nature, the solar eclipse. During this event, the moon, which is the exact size and distance from the earth so as to block the sun's light precisely to its edge and no further, moves between us and the sun so that in one moment we are able to look directly at it without harm. The searing rays are fully absorbed on the back of the moon like the slashing of a whip on the back of a condemned criminal. It takes upon itself the full wrath of the sun's power, and then and there alone we find solace in the shadow of the moon. Corona is the term for the light that peeks around the edge of the moon during an eclipse. It grows bright gold in color and forms a perfect circle, wisps of gold protruding outward like celestial thorns. This word corona literally means crown, and it is only seen when the sun and moon converge, appearing as one being. So my hope is that when you consider a solar eclipse, you are not lost in the meaningless thought of a great orb of dust casting a random shadow upon the earth, but that you don't deny the truth that it and all of nature portrays, that God is far too glorious for man and will burn away all imperfection in a similar way that science predicts the sun will one day engulf and burn away all of the earth. Our only hope rests on Jesus Christ, whose sacrifice alone lets us behold the full glory of God, to one day enter into it and share in it.